The death of Trunks just changed everything. After failing to make it in time to save Goten, Gohan instantly underwent his Super Saiyan 5 form and attacked Naz. Initially, the power of Super Saiyan 5 gave Gohan a clear edge, but after being pushed past his limits due to that very strength from Gohan, Naz unleashed his true potential, transforming him again. Now, after outlasting Gohan and exhausting him to the point of returning back to base form, Naz wants Gohan to keep evolving with him since he's never fought anybody like him before. Just beating up on him won't do it though. So this is when Naz remembers how much Trunks' power skyrocketed after being enraged about Goten dying. So this is when, to trigger Gohan the same way, Naz kills Trunks. This would send Gohan into a blind rage, as we've seen time and time again how significant emotions are to a Saiyan's evolution. I thought I'd taken it easy, but you're too fragile, Naz comments, licking Trunks' blood off his hands. Gohan's power erupts as tears fall down his face. The other Saiyans are almost blown away by his explosion of power, as in one final flash, Gohan's new evolution finally finishes. Amazing, Naz says. Then this is your true power. Even Grippy and Boga can't hold back their excitement as Gohan's new form is finally born. This is Super Saiyan 6 Gohan, a form that kinda looks like Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta or even Ultra Ego. This guy Gohan really does have endless potential. As I thought, Naz says. It seems you were also hiding your full potential. That's the greatest pleasure of being a Saiyan, isn't it? Let's go. Now I'm going with everything I have, he goes on. Naz begins powering up even more to the surprise of even the other Saiyans. However, Gohan is unfazed. Even after breaking the limits of the true strength of the ancient Saiyans, Gohan is unrattled. Naz seems to be getting really excited, Grippy calls out, with Boca agreeing, saying he's looking forward to this next clash. Let's move on to the final round, Naz says to Gohan. Now that we've awakened our true powers, he readies himself as Gohan's expression remains unchanged, and then he charges at him. But before Naz can move from the very spot he was preparing, he's met with a back fist that nearly one hit KOs him as the other Saiyans stand shocked at what just happened. Gohan, before any of them could react, devastates Naz with a punch, sending him stumbling backwards. As he flies through the air, Gohan appears above him and drives him into the ground with a knee to the head. Gohan then goes on to continue pummeling Naz with another combo of punches that sends him flying. As Naz tumbles across the wasteland, he struggles to get back to his feet, as before he can, Gohan appears in front of him again. Gohan kicks him into the air, and while he's vulnerable, hits him point blank with a blast. Gohan, giving just a glimpse of his new power, unleashes a blast so devastating that it looks like a nuclear explosion went off on the battlefield. Naz somehow is still standing though, even after taking an attack like that at point blank. This is it, he says, trembling. It seems that his power was overwhelmingly greater than mine after all, he admits. It seems that my limit has been reached now. I wanted to enjoy this more, but all of a sudden, Naz collapses from exhaustion and goes back to his base form. When he hits the ground, however, Grippy steps in and kicks him out of the way. I must say, I'm surprised, she says, stepping up to Gohan next. You are incredibly strong, aren't you? Would you like to play with me now, she says provocatively. I'm sure it'll be fun. Gohan wonders why she treated her comrade in that way, asking, aren't you guys friends? She answers that friends aren't friends when they can't move anymore though. I don't care about family or friends, she admits. The only thing that interests us is fighting. This is when Grippy finally releases her power as well. However, she's been holding back too, and it's probably safe to assume the same of Boca as well. Grippy undergoes a transformation of her own as she reveals her primal ancient Saiyan transformation too. Now, she gets to cut loose as well against somebody worthy of their real strength. I'll start by saying it won't be as easy to defeat me as Naz, she mentions. I'll make sure I harness your power to the fullest. She charges at Gohan and takes a swipe at his face, however, he easily dodges it. She tries time and time again to just land a single hit on Gohan, but it's just not happening. Gohan is far beyond their league at this point. Plus, she hasn't awakened yet like Naz either. Gohan lands a crushing punch to her stomach that creases her over and sends her flying across the battlefield. He chases her down, zips above her, and drops an elbow on her from above that plants her into the ground, creating a massive crater. Gohan then fires a beam at her from right over her body that engulfs the entire crater of where she was sent and ignites a huge explosion. Grippy erupts out of the crater, however, after tanking that last attack. While showing signs of exhaustion already, it'd be hard to ignore the signs that, like Naz, she's having the time of her life fighting Gohan, saying how much of a thrill this all is. Okay, let's continue, she says to the still expressionless Gohan. She fires a beam back at him, but Gohan easily evades it by jumping. This gives her the opening she needs, or at least she thought, to catch him off guard. Grippy appears above him and tries to land a punch. However, Gohan blocks her again and goes on to dodge all of her punches and kicks. He ducks under another one of her punches, and then Gohan returns fire with a knee to her ribs. As she stumbles, Gohan hits her with another punch to the gut that nearly brings her to her knees. Give up. You have no chance of winning, Gohan tells her. Continuing is a waste of time. You want me to give up, she asks. What are you saying? I don't understand the meaning of your words. There's no way a Saiyan would pass up such a great opportunity like this. She then goes on a pretty provocative monologue telling Gohan that she's almost there, so just keep... Yeah, young Gigi, you guys can even tell by the panel a little bit, he was going kind of crazy right here. Think he might have forgot for a second that this is Dragon Ball, not one of those type of mangas. These guys, we don't know what triggers their evolution, Gohan wonders to himself. I wonder what's the best way to deal with them. Oh, what's the problem? Won't you attack me, she asks as Gohan tries to get an understanding of what her plan might be here. She obviously has more power, but getting to it is her goal here. Why are you so on guard, she asks him. I'm just kidding with you. If that's what you want, then I'll come to you. She lunges at Gohan from across the battlefield, but in his new Super Saiyan 6 form, nothing the ancient Saiyan seems to do has any effect on him. She tries to give it her best, but none of them have ever been able to land even a finger on Gohan since his evolution. He blocks her next punch, but then Gohan begins realizing that even though she hasn't had her breakthrough yet, she's adapting much quicker than Naz. He briefly disengages to take the flight to the air as she chases him down. What's wrong, she asks. You can't beat me if you keep taking hits like that. That's right, Gohan thinks to himself. We can't settle a match like that. No choice. I'll have to use a powerful attack to make her unable to fight. So Gohan charges his power and uses his real strength to kick her square in her midsection, sinking his foot into her. It nearly collapses her. However, Gohan isn't done yet, and while she's still struggling to regain composure, he chops her in the neck, knocking her out cold. Before she falls over, Gohan grabs her by the arm and tosses her up into the air. Gohan starts charging a celestial Kamehameha, and as her unconscious body flies through the sky, launches the massive attack at her, hoping to end this in one final blow. Boca watches on, wondering if she'll do it, or if this is where Grippy falls as well as Gohan launches his massive attack. He fires off with his true strength for the first time since transforming. The beam ripped towards Grippy and threatens to engulf her entirely without much effort. However, before she's decimated, her potential explodes. When her eyes fly open, Grippy undergoes the awakening of her true power in one final transformation. Much like Naz, her true potential finally breaks through. Even Gohan can't believe it, as this is the very thing he was trying to prevent. But it looks like he ended up playing right into her hands. When the smoke clears, Grippy's new transformation finally emerges. She can barely contain herself now that she truly feels so alive and free with her new true power awakened. Gohan's face remains as focused as ever though, as he awaits to see what this new form of hers is capable of. Over in the realm of the Kais, seems like everyone over here was having a good old time as Earth just fell apart. Kibito Kai and Elder Kai step out of the training realm where Goku and Vegeta currently are. Elder Kai states that he doesn't understand how strong do these Saiyans need to get before they're satisfied. These two will probably fight like this until they die, Kibito Kai admits. Suddenly, Kibito Kai takes note of an incredibly large key, asking Elder Kai if he feels it as well. This energy is so great that it even reaches all the way out here to us? Immediately, Elder Kai summons the crystal ball and goes to see what's happening on Earth. This is when they notice that there's a fight happening, and whatever is going on here looks really intense. We haven't noticed, but it seems like we're in a very serious situation right now, Elder Kai admits. Kibito Kai agrees that this is bad, and they need to contact Goku and the others right away. Goku and Vegeta are finally about to learn about the situation on Earth and eventually meet the ancient Saiyans. But will they be able to arrive in time to do anything? And at this point, would they even be effective if they aren't at least as strong as Gohan? Stay tuned to see just how much their training for this entire arc so far has really paid off.